back. And dude, please don't scratch my neck up. All right, let's just chill. So today I was going to do a video on all of my breeding pairs that I have going on right now and my hatchlings, but I'm kind of not feeling that great today, so I'm just gonna do a different video that you guys have requested for a while now, and it sounds like a lot of fun, so figured I'd just go with that, and then I'll do the next video tomorrow, so don't worry, that other video on my pairings and my babies will be coming. So for those of you that aren't aware, I have some exciting news. My eggs finally hatched, so my second clutch is now here, and they are so adorable, so I will be sharing them in my next video, so you'll just have to stay tuned for that. But they're just so cute. It's so funny because every gecko just totally comes out of the egg with their own personality. And right now their names are Spunk and Squeak. So again, that will all be in the video tomorrow. So for today, I'm just gonna get to it. And today I'm gonna be talking about my 10 dream lizards that I would love to have. So yeah, sounds like fun. Let's get to it. I think I'm gonna actually put Dude away because you're not really having it today, huh? And you need a bath. So I'm gonna put him away so that way I can film the rest of this, and I'm gonna show you like picture references of the lizards I'm talking about. So yeah, be right back. So I'm gonna be going through 10 lizards. Number 1 on my list is a jeweled Lacerta. So not all of the lizards are gonna be in this book. I'm just trying to find picture references. I'm gonna hope it's in here, but there's a good chance that it's not. Okay, so I found a jeweled Lacerta in this book. So this is a picture reference of what I'm talking about. It's this one right here. So jeweled Lacertas are on my list, not only because they are gorgeous and they have bright green and blue all over them, which are my favorite colors, but they're basically like little tegus. They have like little tegu personalities, and they have like the little tongue that comes out just like them, but they're in a smaller size, like way significantly smaller. So they're more like the size of like a bearded dragon, if not maybe a little bit smaller. So they're just way easier to take care of because of that. And you honestly don't hear about them often. And I found them at my local reptile store, and it was the first time I had seen them. And I was like, oh my God, what is that? Like, they're just so gorgeous. And then the fact that they are just like little baby tegus just like has me sold. Like, it's so cool because a lot of people want tegus, but they're huge and there's so much work, and that's just so hard to take care of. So if you can have that same personality in a beautiful little lizard, then you're just winning. So yeah, one day I hope that I can end up with one, so definitely on my list. So the next one that I want, I actually found both of them on the same page because they're very closely related. But one that I really would like to have is an Australian water dragon, and I'll show you a picture reference. So it's this guy right here. These guys are just so gorgeous. They're so unique looking. They look like little dinosaurs. Like, they're just so cool. And I love water dragons. The Chinese, like the green ones, are gorgeous, but these ones just really stand out, and they're so unique. And the fact that they're still handleable is just amazing. So I've never seen one in person actually, so if I see one, I'm probably gonna lose my mind. So maybe I'll see one at Tinley in a couple weeks because that would be awesome. They're just so cool. I'm just dying to see one in person. But if I were able to own one, that would be so awesome. So another one on my list that's very closely related is actually the Boyd's dragon. There's a tiny little picture of a Boyd's dragon right there. And I have seen these at Tinley. That was actually the first time that I had ever seen one, and they are just so unique, so cool. They also look very similar to like water dragons, but their coloring is way lighter. It just stood out to me a lot, and I was like, what is that? I need one. So like one day it'll happen. Just like all of these closely related water dragons are just so cool to me. So yeah, these ones, I believe the Boyd's dragons, are actually more arboreal, and you set up enclosures that are basically, they love to just hang out in the trees. So again, that would be like a very different enclosure than what I have going on right now with all of my animals. So if I were to set something up like that, that would be so cool. Again, that's just part of the fun of having lizards, is like getting all these lizards from different types of environments and different requirements just to set them up and have all these bits and pieces of nature within your reptile room. So one day it'll happen, a Boyd's dragon, because they're so, so cool. Again, they're pretty hard to find too, but maybe one day it'll happen. Gonna keep my fingers crossed. So the next one on my list, this is actually like my #1 favorite lizard of all time, and that is a Caiman lizard. So I'm gonna go ahead and find a picture. So this right here is a Caiman lizard, my dream lizard of all time. And the sad thing is, like, I know I'm probably never gonna have a Caiman lizard unless I'm like extremely rich one day, because Caiman lizards are huge. They're basically like owning a tegu, but they love to swim and they spend a lot of time in the water, so they need a huge swimming area on top of a ton of basking area. So that being said, I would want an enclosure that is just like massive, like the size of a room, something that you would see in a zoo, so that way there's just like a ton of swimming area and a ton of basking area, just so that way it would just feel as comfortable as it possibly can, get everything that it needs. I don't really think it's right when people have Caiman lizards and then just keep them in like a tank or something. That just seems really, really wrong to me. So I love them so much, and I would never want to take an animal in and not be able to give it everything that I truly think that it deserves. So probably never gonna get one unless I'm just super rich and have like an entire room, or like move to Florida or something and just have one in the backyard with its own enclosure. But maybe one day it'll happen, but they're definitely just amazing, amazing animals. My all-time favorite lizard of all time. So the next lizard that I would love to have one day is a Panther Chameleon. And I have a veiled chameleon right now, but if I ever get the chance to get another chameleon, it'll definitely be a Panther Chameleon. They're usually typically way nicer and handling way better than veiled chameleons, who just have so much attitude. There are still Panther Chameleons that have attitudes, but for the most part, I've noticed that they are typically the nicest and they're typically the most colorful. So I'm going to show you a picture of a Panther Chameleon. And this right here is an example of a Panther Chameleon. So yeah, definitely on my list because they are just so gorgeous. I mean, you can't not love that. It's just amazing. So definitely on my list. So #5 on my list is something that, again, is very, very rare. I never see them being sold anywhere, but it is a Chinese crocodile lizard, and I love these because they're very similar to Caiman lizards, and I think that they're basically the mini version of a Caiman lizard. So I'm going to show you a picture reference. This right here is the Chinese crocodile lizard. So they have like kind of these buggy eyes, which is really cute and adorable, but their scales are very similar to the Caiman lizard, and that's why they're called the crocodile lizard, just because of those really prominent scales and bumps that they have. They stay way, way, way smaller than a Caiman lizard, so it's definitely something that's way easier to keep. But again, they're very, very hard to come by. So maybe one day, but I absolutely adore these lizards, so it's definitely on my list. So the next lizard on my list is a Frilled Dragon. I have loved these for years. They're basically like the lizard from the Jurassic Park movie, I think it's the Dilophosaurus or something, which is the dinosaur that, again, has those like huge frills that just come out and then it like spits poison. So that dinosaur was created based off of this Frilled Dragon in real life. However, they do not spit out any poison or anything, and they're not huge. Like, they're very small lizards. Well, not small, but they're basically kind of bearded dragon size, but they can get larger than that. But they're arboreal. They love to be up in the trees, and they basically just use that big frill as a defense, say basically like, get away from me. Yeah, it's basically just their warning, just trying to look bigger and be intimidating for predators, so that way they don't try to eat them. But anyway, I'm going to show you a picture reference of a Frilled Dragon. I'm sure that you guys have seen them. They're extremely common and they're so cool, so I'm sure you've heard of them before. So there is a Frilled Dragon right in the center. And another cool thing about Frilled Dragons is that they actually run on 2 feet, and it's really funny. It's similar to like the basilisk that runs on the water, but the Frilled Dragons don't run on water. They're way too heavy-bodied, but they can run very, very fast with 2 feet on the ground if you own them as a pet. So that could also be really interesting. So, I mean, you don't want to lose your pet either. I would be kind of worried to just set it down and it just runs away because they're so fast, but also very, very cool. So there's a gecko that I don't have a picture reference of in any of my books because it's kind of rare. It's the Uroplatus Lineatus, and they're also known as lined leaf-tail geckos. This was one of the first geckos that I wanted to get, but then I went with a satanic leaf-tail gecko instead. These ones are really, really cool. They're way longer. They get larger than satanic leaf-tail geckos, and they're just super cute. I love their eyes. They're very unique looking, and I love the fact that they have black tongues. I don't know why. It's just super cute to me. So you guys should look them up if you haven't heard of them before because they're really, really cool. Next up on my list would be a white blue-tongued skink. They're so rare, but I definitely would love to get one just because the contrast with that blue tongue and then the white is just so pretty. I absolutely love them. So that would be like a dream animal. I know they're like way more common in Australia because that's where they're from and they breed all of these crazy morphs there. So maybe one day if I'm super rich, but not happening right now. But again, a dream lizard for sure. And also I want to squeeze in with that one. I have fallen in love with Australian pink-tongued skinks now too, ever since I saw that one at Curious. Yeah. They're so cute. I love them. Their faces, they're much smaller than the other blue-tongued skinks, and they have the pink tongue, just small, cute package, and I love their personalities. So again, that should also just be squeezed in with the skink section because I love them. And last but not least, I have really wanted this lizard for a long time now, ever since I saw the first white bearded dragon. I'm not familiar with the morphs. I do know that it can be a zero, but some zeros aren't completely white, so I'm not really sure what the exact morph is, but basically just a completely white bearded dragon is so cool. I mean, I would feel like I literally had this like little magical dragon on my shoulder if I had one. Just if I end up being rich one day or something. Definitely gonna get one, and that's on my list. So that completes my list of all of my desired lizards. As I'm like looking through and flipping through all of my books, I'm just seeing all of these other lizards that I wish I would have added to this list because I just want all of them. I'm just like obsessed with lizards. They're so cool. But whatever. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Please leave a comment. Let me know what your dream lizards are because I would love to read them. And if you guys mention anything I haven't heard of, it would be so cool to like look that up and find something new that I'm not even aware of. So yeah, just leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day.